want to kill me.
No,
that's the difference.
I don't want to kill you.
Well, a caliphate would involve executing gay people, would it not?
Let me let Sajjad answer the question.
It's in your constitution.
The issue is about sanctity of human life. Yeah, we're talking about the sanctity of human life.
Except for gays, except for women.
Islam's position on homosexuality is well known. It doesn't have to be advocated to a Muslim audience. The point is that Johann is actually talking about killing. He's, the war in Iraq killed 650,000.
I think that was wrong.
Half of those are probably women. Most of those were children. And we're talking about a situation where global Western values, in the name of Tony Blair and George Bush, and in the name of Western governments, are not just killing Muslims and non-Muslims in Iraq, killing them in Afghanistan, supporting dictators, and talk about the rule of law. We're told
every dictator the government.
I'm going to let Johann come through here. Sorry, please.
You talk about about imposing values, and you talk about you keep acting as though your definition of Islam is the only definition of Islam.
Let me give you. Okay, did I say that?
Yes, because because you kept saying I'm saying Islamic values
are
this and that. I offered you Fadl Amara. Do you accept Fadl Amara as a Muslim?
Of course. Well, right. I don't know if she is, but I'll take your opinion that she is a Muslim.
All over the world, I've met
Muslim shock horror. Muslims disagree, Johann.
Yeah,
shock horror.
No, I'm the one who's precisely making that point. Difference is, when Muslims disagree, you want to kill the ones who disagree. Well, everyone watching this can go and look at the Hizb Tahrir Constitution. Article 7, apostates should be executed. They can see that you believe they should be executed.
Johann.
I don't. When they disagree, you believe in killing, I don't.
Sajjad, please answer.
What?
He's
Does
mentioning
Article
a
7 of your
specific...
Constitution say that, yes or no?
What does it say about...
Calls for the execution of apostates.
Look, the issue around...
Anyone can look it up on the internet.
Yeah, the issue about apostates, and the issue about homosexuals, and the issue about women, and the issue about...
all those little trifling issues.
Yeah. And
more than half humanity.
Yeah. And what we're talking about here is, in an Islamic context, views about homosexuality are well known. And there is a process...
Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to let it go one at a time, sorry.
Let me just finish the point. The point about Islam is a very strong concept of privacy. There's no way... We're not going to go around some kind of neo-McCarthyism tactics that we were seeing today in the West about what people are saying in their mosques and what people are saying in their homes. We're going to go around having cameras in people's bedrooms and people's hotels rooms. This is a grotesque insult to the civilization that Islam has brought to the world. And what we're actually concentrating on here is in secular liberal societies, half the people now agree that there is a huge problem of greed, of social deprivation.
I write this every week.
We're seeing gambling, casino. I don't
Talk about a straw man. Do you think the alternative to greed is a caliphate that murders adulterous gays?
Johann, I'm going to ask you a question.
Anyone who abandons Islam?
Sorry, Johann, I'm going to ask you a question.
The stereotype is
Hang on,
it's like saying the West...
One at a time, I'm sorry.
It's a stereotype to read from your constitution.
It's a stereotype. It's like saying Western society is about Jade Goody. It's about Western society is about George Bush. It's Western society is about killing of Jews and the Holocaust. That's the stereotype that you are painting, and that will be insulting to the millions of Muslims all around the world who believe Islam is much more wider.
I'll tell you what's insulting to Muslims.
Than positions around.
Let me tell you what's insulting to Muslims is to kill them if they change their mind about their religion. That is not something that is a stereotype. That is something you want to introduce, opposed by the vast majority of Muslims, in your constitution. It's not a stereotype, it's a fact from your constitution.
But Johann, what's being brought in here is the idea that Sajjad is mentioning certain things that are part of a certain set of ideas. He says the Islamic ideas are separate to them. You said you disagree. You don't think they're a different civilization. Would you like to explain that?
Well, there are people within every... these things are fluid. Look, do I have more in common with you as a British Muslim than I do with, than you do with a Muslim living in Gaza? I think we probably do. I think we probably have more of the same shared ideas, although you and I would both agree that those people in Gaza should be freed from Israeli occupation. So I think this idea that there are these discrete blocks called civilizations, and you fall into one box and I fall into another, is very misleading. Do I have more in common with one of the 50 million Muslim gay people across the Middle East and across the world who you would like to kill? Probably I do.
I'm going to let
Sajjad
come in here.
I don't think that means that we're different boxes.
We have about 15 seconds left. Would you like to respond to that?
We just seen evidence of a secular liberal intolerance here.
Well, I think intolerance means killing people who disagree with you. Your constitution, not mine.
Johann, thank you so much.
Anyone can look up
if
the
you'd like to rejoin us after the break, we'll welcome you back. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
وكتاب مسطور في رق منشور